On today's program, we're going to discuss the important topic of private branding across the border. And to do this, I'd like to introduce to you Jaime Herrera, who's a longtime member of ISSA and the CEO of Key Química, which works closely with sister company Cyan Labs, both Mexican-based cleaning industry manufacturing companies. Jaime, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Jeff. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you again as well. Okay. So Jaime, let me ask you this question. What can a Mexican manufacturer bring to the table when compared to a local supplier or a company from another latitude?
Well, starting with the second part of your question, Jeff, if you have a supplier coming from other part of the world, let's say Europe or Asia or South America, definitely Mexico in the geographical position, it has a clear advantage. I mean, Mexico and Canada are the natural neighbors for the United States, but I will say that the strong point here is what can we bring to the table when compared to a local manufacturer. And I would start by saying that something that we could bring, it's differentiation somehow. I mean, there are cleaning processes that we perform in a different way. The first one I could think of, it's as an example in floor care. We have very good programs for stone care. If you come to Mexico, you will find out that the most commonly found surface in the public arena, it's the stone. All our airports, our shopping malls, and we do have great processes and great products in that area of business. But at the same time, I mean, Mexico has a wide range of different industries, and we serve all sort of segments. So we have experience, servicing a wide range of products, and our research and development teams are extremely creative, very well prepared, and I'm pretty sure that we could bring some differentiation. But I will have to make a note on, you have to speak with a technologically savvy company, because, I mean, you would like to deal with a company that is in contact with whatever is happening in the world of cleaning, with new technologies, with all the compliance that you need to observe. But I will say that the basic factor that we could bring to the table is definitely cost. I can almost blindly say that we can bring 10 to 25% savings when compared to a similar product coming from a local manufacturer, due to structural differences in that specific aspect. By far, I will say that the best thing that we're bringing to the table, it has to do with the cost of the product.
Well, then let's dig into that a little bit. Give us the details of why manufacturing costs in Mexico are lower. You mentioned some interesting savings there.
Yes. Well, the savings in a chemical specialty, one of the main components, it's raw material. And we have excellent sources of raw material. Let me just bring one example of a very popular product during the pandemic, the alcohol-based gels and sanitizers. We have excellent sources of sugar cane ethylic alcohol. It's a high quality, it's odor-free, it's a great raw material. We have almost 20 sugar mills with the ability to produce that raw material. And there are several raw materials when it comes to petroleum derivatives. There are some raw materials in which we have that type of cost advantage. But definitely, I mean, raw materials are it's something that has become globalized. So there's a certain limit, to what we can expect, from less expensive raw material. The other source of savings, it's labor. Even though manufacturing chemical specialties is not a labor-intensive process, when you go to smaller packages, or when you mix kits or different type of offerings like portion control, it becomes labor-intensive. So labor, it becomes a factor. Not only there's the labor involved in the production, but the labor involved in the preparation of our lines. When you turn a production line into another product, there's a lot of labor in that specific process. So what less expensive labor helps you, it's working with smaller batch, and also savings in the labor impact in the cost of the specialty. And finally, indirect cost. I mean, you look for a margin to cover your overhead. We have less expensive managing cost, less expensive all the insurance, and some additional costs that here in Mexico are far less expensive. That there's where we find those spaces, to become with a lower price.
Makes sense. Let me ask you about distribution. What's the risk to a United States-based distributor with what we're discussing today?
Well, definitely. I mean, with all the things that we're seeing right now, with all these transportation issues, even though we feel we have an advantage when it comes to a comparison against Europe or Asia, we still have an obstacle to overcome. And definitely, a Mexican potential supplier will need to demonstrate a sound logistic solution for the North American market in terms of warehousing, in terms of the logistics that we need to operate to be able to become a responsible, strong, sound supplier of your private brand. The other thing that I will find as a risk, or at least as something that is perceived as a risk by the North American potential client, would be compliance. To which extent this company coming from outside understands the compliance that we need in our market. Meaning our market, the North American market. All the certifications, all the government compliance that you need to cover in topics like disinfection or food safety. I mean, it's something that it's not easy, and sometimes it could even become a problem. So, as I mentioned, you need a technologically savvy company. You also need someone that fully understand what is required in the North American market in order to receive, a sound proposal or a good solution, for your private brand.
Absolutely. My last question, Jaime, what would you like to see happen next?
Well, definitely what I would like to see, it's for the North American market to stay open, to explore a little bit. I mean, what can you lose? We have been doing this for the past maybe 8 years, and we have developed some very good and strong alliances. And I think there's a very good opportunity of finding a comprehensive private brand with very good quality products that comply to everything you need to comply with.
Well, Jaime, great information. Thank you so much for sharing. I know I'm going to see you soon at ISSA Show North America in Las Vegas, November 15th through 18th. I believe you're going to be there.
Thank you very much. Yes, we will be there. We will definitely enjoy your visit. And if someone would like to continue with this information, we will be at booth W4059. We will be more than happy to receive you and explain in deeper detail everything that we have discussed today.